Okay, so let's talk about Secondhand Embarrassment. And talk about Succession. So let's talk about Succession a little bit. And can we talk spoilers about Succession, or should we not talk spoilers about Succession?
Maybe let's avoid the main thing.
Okay. So how are you liking overall, the final season of Succession so far? I think it's only 3 episodes.
I can never keep count because I don't watch them on time.
Right.
So whatever it is, they've all hit for me. But at the same time, they've also made me remember something about the show. There's so much dialogue that you have to pay attention to every bit of it. And if you forgot something from, 14 episodes ago, sorry, fella, you're out.
That's like the whole merger thing and the sale. And
I don't remember the details of it.
Yeah.
But thankfully, they keep talking about it, so it eventually kind of comes back.
Yeah, they do keep talking about it.
But every episode has been great, I think. This episode last week, though, is, I think, my favorite of this series.
Mm-hmm.
It's just phenomenal.
We had talked about it. So I'm very much enjoying season 4 of Succession. It's an incredible show. Writing and acting are just some of the best that I've seen. The latest episode was a big one. And the reason I had thought about, and I tweeted this, that Succession is secondhand embarrassment. And secondhand embarrassment is you feel the embarrassment that someone close to you is feeling.
Mm-hmm.
So Succession, in the latest episode, you're very much in the emotional headspace of the 3, main characters, I guess you call them, the siblings.
The Roy kids.
Roman, Shiv, and Kendall. So something happens, and you're like, damn it, it's really hard to explain. So anyway, something happens to them, and they're all very emotional about it. And the way that the show was, and the way that the scenes were shot, is each character goes somewhere to have an emotional moment,
mm-hmm.
and you go with them. And the camera is very close to them. It's like you're standing right beside them. And the way it's different about these characters is they're not overly emotional in certain ways, and emotional in sad ways. Kendall is very sad in season 3 specifically, but Shiv is like they call her Shiv. Like obviously her name is Siobhan, but Shiv as in like a shiv to the back. And Roman is a goof who sends dick pics to his father by accident. So when you see them be very emotional and sad, and they're crying, and they're saying things that you would never think that they would ever say to a human being, and you're right beside them when it happens, I feel their sadness. I feel them, and for them, I'm embarrassed for them because of how sad I am for them and how sad they are. And I was thinking about this in relation to Mad Men as well. And Succession is the same way. These are people that have nothing to do with my way of living. Mm-hmm. Ad agencies on Madison Avenue in the 60s and 70s. High finance and business deals of upper the 1% of Americans or people in the world. These people have nothing to do with the way I live my life. But the way that the writing and the acting of these characters is so good that I actually care about these people. I care about Shiv. I care about Don Draper and Peggy Olson and Kendall Roy. So in the sense that, the show is so good that I feel their emotion, and I feel embarrassed for them knowing what has happened and who these people are. And it's the big example of secondhand embarrassment is the scene in Taxi Driver, where Travis Bickle makes a phone call to a woman he's trying to ask out on a date. He starts the phone call, the camera is on him, and then they move the camera away from him where you cannot see Travis Bickle. You're looking down a long hallway. And the scene is so embarrassing because Travis Bickle is a loser asking this. I think it's the something to do with the campaign or something that he's been creeping on. I heard Martin Scorsese talk about this, that he decided that the scene is so embarrassing. Travis Bickle is such a loser. He's saying he's so petty and he's never going to have a chance with this woman at all. And you can't physically watch him being embarrassed and embarrassing himself. So they pan away from him. So you're not watching it. You're not feeling that embarrassment. And with Succession, they do not hide that embarrassment and that emotional and uncomfortable feeling, because you follow all of these siblings around and you feel their emotion, you feel their embarrassment, you feel their sadness so close together. And in Succession, much more than I think Mad Men, where I never really felt sad. I felt sad for Don Draper in some instances, specifically in the last season. But Succession is so good for getting me to care about characters who are assholes, who are not good people, who are not good to each other. They're not a good family. They don't treat each other like a family at all. And I think it's a special kind of show where it's always a special kind of show or movie or TV show where you make unlikable people likable. You care about these characters. So in a long roundabout sense about Secondhand Embarrassment, this show is so good that I feel the embarrassment and I feel the emotions for these characters. So my overall thoughts, Chris, which you can comment on the Succession idea, but I do want to get into if there's any other stories or movies or TV shows that are like that. So what do you think about the Succession idea of the show is so good that you're so invested in these characters, in specifically the last episode where something very emotional happens?
I agree with you. I think that the way it's shot and just the dialogue and the whole situation, it grabs you, and you're just in for the ride with each one of these characters. And I don't know about you, but at one point I was wondering, well, how is this one going to feel? How is that one going to feel? You know, when it came to like Connor, I was like, well, what is he going to do with this?
Oh my God, yeah.
You know, especially given what he said before about needing love and whatnot, or not needing it.
Yeah.
And so I think that was just, it's great writing. Like you said, it's just great. They do an excellent job with it. And the actors really, really sold it. I think that's what stands out to all the actors. Even Matthew McFadden, who is not one of the Roy children.
Right.
His role in this episode was tremendous. As kind of being that middleman who doesn't want to say, you know, what's the finality of it.
Yeah, you're right about that too. And I mentioned it was just because of the siblings, but on the opposite side of that with Tom, and the way he's talking and the way that people are talking to him as you see what's happening in the background, I got it. Like, I felt that as well. I'm like, it was so incredible. And something about my surprise for season 4 and how good I think it's episode 4, how great we think it is. The season finale of season 3, where the 3 siblings are, I think it's outside wherever the villa is, or where Kendall's sitting on the ground and they all, you know, come around him and they put their arm on him and everything. I'm like, the show can't be better than this. But then in this episode in season 4, there's literally a moment just like that, and it feels just as good. Like I don't know how the show can be so good. I don't know how it's just incredible to me.
Yeah, I don't want to speak hyperbolic, but I really think it's the best episode of the series.
Yeah.
And but you know, we got another episode tonight, and we have a few more, so we'll see where it lands. Also, once it sits for a little bit, but at the moment, I just absolutely love that episode.
Well, this surprise episode too. Sorry, just like we were talking about the Zava stuff with Ted Lasso, how that was a surprise. I didn't see this coming at all for this episode. And even if you knew it was coming, how they handled it as well was such a surprise.
Yeah, the way they...
I didn't expect. I can't wait to... We're going to have to talk about it when the season's all over again. Just how they handled the big moment is unlike anything that I would have expected.
Yeah, it was special.
Yeah.
The way they handled it was special. Ian says that's great writing. They purposely kept things hidden to make you feel like the 3 and go through the experience with them. I was on the edge of my seat trying to hear it down the phone. And if I'm not mistaken, they shot it in order or something.
Oh, yeah? That would have been...
It was shot a specific way so that you got, like, the reactions were more genuine than they would have been rehearsed or something. I forgot how it went. Ian also says The Office, the British version, is full of secondhand embarrassment. I've never seen the British one.
Yeah.
Hey, Carlos. Carlos says the only folks who don't like Succession are the Murdoch family. I would think so. Yeah. I don't think it's on their watch list.
Another movie that I thought about with Secondhand Embarrassment is Inside Llewellyn Davis with Oscar Isaac. It's from the Coen brothers. Basically every instance that every moment that happens to him in the movie is embarrassing, and you're just like, oh my god, I feel so bad for this guy.
I haven't watched it.
Yeah, just everything that happens to him, I just feel so bad for him in every step that he takes.
I always want to watch that because I love Oscar Isaac, but I just haven't sat down to do it.
Yeah.
When I think of like most recently a show where you kind of you feel what the character's feeling is Ted Lasso. I relate to Ted a lot. So.
And I forget who mentioned the scene where he's talking to his ex-wife on the computer. You're right.
Krabs.
You're right up at Ted's face, so you can feel the emotion. I think that where the camera placement really helps with getting inside the characters. I like that.
It's all, and again, it's also good writing, a mixture of good writing and good acting.
100%.
You give a quality actor quality material, they're going to do what they do.
I agree. 100%.
Much like Arnold Schwarzenegger and Batman and Robin.
Of course, you feel every emotion of that cold-hearted bastard.
Chill.
Okay, so that's kind of my thoughts on secondhand embarrassment, which is something the term that I only learned this year thanks to my 13-year-old daughter.